2 billion people all over the world that looks like us. But their lives are a lot harder. Yahweh has the tools to liberate them all.
Okay, shalom, shalom, shalom. Hey, today wanted to talk to you brothers and sisters about a few things. Me and my brother are out here practicing patrolling. And patrolling is a very important step in homesteading, especially when we talk about things going bad or going south in some of these upcoming endeavors that we have to deal with. So, as you see, we all camouflaged up. And while we got what we got, it's a little chilly out here, and we're not going to wear face paint, so we're wearing our bakalavas to ensure that our faces are obscured a little bit from the weather effects, and also I'm considering some of the camouflage considerations like shine, surface, things like that. So as we're actively patrolling, okay, so in a homestead situation, if enemy forces were to come, you have to constantly send out reconnaissance patrols. Okay, as a former LRPer, like Army Ranger, that's all I did was I LRP, run around and reconnaissance and things like that. So this is kind of the thing that I do, and I'm teaching it to our brothers out here, and want to also teach y'all. So sending out active patrolling. All right. So you see, normally I would have like a suppressor or something like that. Not having it on today. Why? Because from the distance where I am, I will control up to a mile away from where my homesteading is, encircling the whole area. And the things I'm looking for are signs. Okay. So in the patrol guides, what we usually look for is ash, trash, and brass. So those types of signs I like to look for when we're trying to find a place for an encampment for ourselves. But it's the same thing if we're looking for enemy patrols, okay? So as we're actively looking for enemy patrols, we want to look for these types of signs. And these are some of the things I want to show you today. I'm not going to get into because I don't want this video to be too long. But I really want to show you some of the things, some of the techniques that we use in alerts to find our enemies. Because, we've been doing a lot of deer hunting lately and things like that. And we had a deer fall the other night, and we had to track him down. And as I was tracking him down, I was telling my brother, hey, I need to do better in teaching y'all how to track. So I'm not the only one out here tracking. But just some considerations also, like I was saying. So I'm within a mile of my homestead patrolling. And I did as you come out, or initially coming out, you do what we call the SEALs. Stop, look, listen, and smell, okay? That is a very important lesson that's learned, okay? Is when you come out of your homestead, all right, as you see, we're out here, we keep our uniforms hung up, just like we're hunting for deer or anything like that, because we want to smell, just like we are in this environment. I want to blend in as much as possible. Camouflage is important. You see, I have different types of camouflage on, breaking up my outline, because I want to look like something other than a human being walking through. I don't want to smell like the environment. I don't want to come out here smelling like hot potato chips and, corn dip and stuff like that. And as I'm actively patrolling out here, when you do your SEALs, stop, look, listen, and smell, you're actually looking around for things like this. You got hoof marks or anything that can be within your area, okay? These things work for deer. I'm looking around and I'm seeing hoof marks, deer beds, and I can start counting the numbers. Now this thing takes over time to understand how long, the degradation of like a footprint would be. I could tell by looking at some of these signs See, this is all dried up right now. So that probably would have happened yesterday. They had to, this came in to fill up with water. All right. But then we noticed, like when we step on something, let's say I step on this, all right? And notice the change in it, okay? Because of the moisture under the ground, especially in the day and in the dew. When you're lurping and going around doing your patrols, and the dew, when you step in the dew, let's say in some of the grass folds over, okay? And when you notice that, then notice those possibly somebody had walked there. You're looking for different signs. Let's say if someone was walking this way and they just decided to step over this log, they might have some type of debris fall from their boot on top of this. So if they had debris from, like, let's say dirt or sand, it may fall on top of that. So you can look at that and say, hey, you know what? Somebody crossed over this, all right? And you're looking at the general cardinal direction of where they're traveling, all right? Because typically, you know, if someone, let's say they want to attack where you are, they might just send out a patrol first before they actually make the initial attack. Because typically when we recon something, we do what we call a cloverleaf techniques, where we would go out and we would cloverleaf around the enemy and getting as much as data as we can from that enemy encampment before we do our actual planned attack. So having active patrols, you know, when you're coming out, like I say, so as soon as you come out, you stop, look, listen, smell. You're getting adjusted to the environment. You're seeing what's going on, you know, because you can maybe hear somebody in the distance crackling through the woods, and then you can zero on that sound. You say, I'm not wearing, like I told you before, I'm not wearing a suppressor on this. It's because if I get in a gunfight right now, I want them to hear me. I want everybody in our encampment to know that there's a gunfight going on, all right? So they can be prepared. So those are the type of things you're looking for, you know? And then as you're patrolling with your partner, let's say I'm out here and I'm patrolling and we're starting to doing our patrolling. I'm going through our woods, you know? I'm doing my thing and I'm looking down. Now, as I'm looking down, he'll be looking up, okay? He's looking around as I'm looking down because I'm looking for signs. So I see a deer track right here. So I know this morning this happened, okay? I'm looking at this, okay? Nope, that's a cat. All right, coming through here, all right? So I'm looking for different signs as I'm coming through because we got a bobcat in this area. So I'm looking and I see. Now, you saw what I just did right here? That sign. See it right here? As I put my hand right here, you can see where my finger grooves are. You look for things like that, little slight disturbances where some animal or whatever might have kicked off that. That's called sign. And I'm going around looking for these type of things as I'm looking down. And I can start seeing the general direction of where said animal would come from. All right, so I'm looking at a hoof mark going in general direction. All right, so and tracking these animals and seeing where they're coming from and what direction and what they're doing. Now I know just by these signs that they're coming here early in the morning, okay? And as they're coming here early in the morning, that's their watering hole. And back there I saw one of their beds. So I'm just looking around and I'm doing an encirclement. So let's say this was people. All right, what would they be doing here? What I'm looking for, ash, trash, and brass. Looking for any kind of signs of where, you know, that person might have been stopped, come through, while also looking up, okay? And every now and then, I'm stopping, okay? I'm stopping, and then we do a little head movement when we tap, and we're conducting another seals. Stop, look, and smell. And you just sit here and you do nothing for about 2 minutes. I'm just looking around, listening. What's out there? I hear people talking in the background. I'm looking out there. I said, okay. And then once we're done doing all this, then I can move on. Come up. Start some more. And remember, as I'm looking, all right, every now and then, I'm gonna look back at my partner back here and make eye contact with him. Making eye contact with him. Always, I'll take 3 to 4 or 5 steps every time, and I'll look back. I'll start stepping out like so. As I'm looking around, actively patrolling with my eyes, doing figure 8s. I'll turn around, I'll make eye contact with him. He ain't saying nothing, everything's okay. You know, going around. And as you're going through the wood line, looking to see if there's patrols out there, I want you to also keep in conscious, like I said in another video about trees, okay? This can stop a bullet. My body does not do a good job of doing that, okay? So I see another tree over there, all right? Pan the camera that way. And I'm gonna move towards that tree. And as I'm moving towards that tree, looking down, any signs, that's my next cover and concealment. All right, looking around. Now remember, it's sparse up in this area. I may stop again, looking. You know, we got a lot of open areas around here, you know, because of the concealment of the woods has gone down a lot because we're in the winter time. Just looking around, and I see right here, okay, that I don't really have sign of anything. All right, as I'm looking around, not much of anything. Still looking. All right, as I'm going down here, looking around. Come over here. We got some poopy. So I found some poopy. Couple days old poopy from that cat running around here. Yeah. More sign. A small deer, about 2 days old. And that cat came through here. Here we go again. This is this morning. Came through right here. So they came through this morning, not too much long ago, right here. More sign. So these are the type of things that you're doing. And the same techniques that I'm using right now to track down what I learned over the years to track down men is the same thing I'm using to track down animals. I'm looking for these signs. Actively, constantly scanning. That's my brother back there. He's looking for me. He's my eyes right now. So if there's enemy out there, as he's looking around, he's trying to see if he sees somebody. And if he does, he's gonna pop him. Now typically we'll have a little bit more space in between us, but just for the sake of having a camera here, I want to show you. All right, but the space what I'll be talking about, bro, can you go back over to that tree? So typically when you're patrolling, okay, as you're walking, depending, you'll have about 3 to 5 meters between each one of you, up to about 7 from my position. So from this position here, our brother's back there. And that's about the distance that we want to keep each other, all right? So just in case something happened, all right? If something happened, I'm gonna start firing off right here and I can break contact back to him. Now, that's another thing. Someone might ask and say, okay, what if you make contact? Well, here's the thing. I'm still going by military standards, which is 3 to 1. All right, so basically what that means is 3 of us per 1 of them. And if that force is more than that, then we need to break contact. As a lerper, all we did was scout, all right, or set up what we call ambushes or hasty ambushes. If I see somebody coming and I know I can get the tactical advantage on them, well, guess what? We're gonna do an ambush on them, all right? So, and I'll wait for them to come through and I'm gonna smoke them, just like that. But also remember this, just because somebody's coming through don't mean they're bad guys, okay? Something like that happens, you know, the world, whatever. You don't got to kill everybody you see, okay? They just might just be trying to go through, okay? There will be people walking around, so you ain't got to smoke everybody. But if they're out here looking like us, and you can see that they're trying to do some kind of probing, you know what I mean? If I saw them, I would watch them. I would watch to see what they're doing. And once I see what they're doing, if I can, I'm gonna try to flank around them and watch them. See if there's any follow-on forces or anything like that, what they got going on, because they could be just a scout element for a bunch of women and children back there. You know what I mean? Just trying to find refuge. Or there can be a bunch of hostile forces back there that if I got in contact with them, because doctrine says that you will only make contact with the smallest element, not the largest. So there could be 5 guys here and 15 or 20 of them back that way. So I don't want to get in a lengthy engagement, okay? Because I only have limited amount of ammo. Speaking of that, okay, I don't have a bulletproof vest on. This is from my LERP days, a vest I would have where I would carry a lot of ammo, okay? Now, the advantages that we have with doing something like this, I still want to be light, because if something happens, I want to get the hell up out of here, okay? But I want to put down such a hailstorm of fire. Fire superiority is key. Effective fires. So if I seen an enemy, we would get online, break contact, get online. First we get online, he'll get online with me, and we'll start doing our break contact drills from here. And then we'll start bounding back over each other, leapfrogging, whatever. Continually maintaining a high rate of fire, because that guy might only have 3 or 4 mags, where we have 7. And typically in engagements, the persons who have the most effective fires and the most fire typically can come save the day, win the day in that firefight. So it's important to have a lot of ammo in set cases like this, but it's also good to be light, because this is what we're doing. So anyways, as we're going out, you know, these are some of the things that I want y'all to keep in mind as you're going out and doing your patrol. Start doing active patrolling. Start looking around. Put your feet in the dirt, okay? And look for signs, you know. You get some sand, put your foot down on the dirt, okay? And look at that footprint. And then over time, see how that footprint over days or whatever will look, especially in sand. And you'll see the degradation of the soil, and start noticing things like that. Notice things like this, you know, what's that? Why would that be that way? You know what I mean? That's a sign that someone came through, because you look at everything else hasn't been disturbed. Then all of a sudden, look at this, you know, it's fresh, you know, looking around, because a lot of people, like it says, you know, you lose your balance, you rub your hands on something, you're here, you got over logs, stepping on ant hills. You step on an ant hill, it'll look like a Slipknot concert, you know, those type of things. So keep that in mind. And like I said, I want to put out more videos, but if you got more questions, okay, about what we're doing here, ask me. And but the best thing is to get out here and practice, okay? In the meantime, bless y'all. Shalom, shalom, or Shabbat shalom, or whenever you watch this video. And blessings to each and every one of you. Love you, family. Bless y'all.
Always remember the 5 principles of patrolling: planning, reconnaissance, security, control, and common sense.